This is a certified hood classic.
Dave's not here, man.
Damn!
Let's go.
All rise, order in the court. It is it's time. Deja vu, Mike.
Yes, it's almost like it's Tuesday all over again,
Yeah.
but it's not. I promise this time we'll get more than 30 seconds into this.
Yeah, we did not. I mean, maybe 40 seconds until a live chase broke out yesterday during We Got a Case. Chaos and darkness descends. Welcome, making very, very good choices early on a Wednesday. Humpty.
And I got your entire name up there. One of the benefits of being first.
Yes. Otherwise, it would have been, I believe,
It'd have been chaos.
CADD, or just chaos. Yes. Anyways, well, you set it up for us yesterday, but we might as well do it again today because it's a different day.
Creed, we're gonna have a Sov Cit sandwich. That's right. We're gonna kick it off with one and finish it up with one. And somewhere in the middle, we're gonna have Judge Washington sweet talk us and deal with some real a-holes and behind bars.
Yeah, good luck. Flush, a good reminder. Good luck to everybody that's in the path of that one. We're just on a skirt, just on the edge there of the red. We'll see what transcends of that. I know Pass was posted some stuff today. She was right in it. But
scary stuff.
It sure is. No, tornadoes are not fun. All right, before live chase breaks out, I'm pressing play.
I'm sorry for the delay.
No problem. That's not your fault. You didn't.
All us.
Didn't do the chase yesterday, Judge.
Are you there?
How you doing?
I'm very good.
I went to school with
Erica
Chris.
Harris on behalf of Mr. Lewis. Please state your name for the record.
Tall, skinny, white dude.
I have an attorney.
Oh,
I represent
never mind.
myself. I articulated that at the last hearing.
It's about as far as
Okay,
we
I
got
apologize.
yesterday, right there.
Thank you.
Her apologizing.
Today is the date. Good morning, Mr. Lewis. Today is the date and time set for a ring on the bench warrant. I'm going to enter not guilty plea on his behalf. I'm going to give him a $0 bond. Mr. Lewis, you said you were here last time. Why did you miss your date?
I actually didn't miss the date. I actually sent you a motion today to show you proof that I was actually in the hearing, and I was locked out of the hearing after an hour of waiting. As well as I sent you a motion for dismissal as well. I sent it last week. Yes, I sent it last week, but I resent it today, and I sent it in a Zoom chat as well to the prosecutor, the clerk, reporter, as well as the clerk.
I didn't get that motion, either of those motions.
Is there any way you have availability to look at the Zoom message, right? I sent it to not only your email, but the Zoom chat as well.
I need it in my email. I don't
sent it twice. I can tell you my email if you want to search it, but you should have it twice in your email. I resent it.
What's your email?
Okay, I'm resending it at the moment.
I'm gonna put my email address in the chat.
I mean, he's got a point if he was there, but
Put my email so you don't have
Getting
it.
locked out though, like just you.
yeah,
And
I'm skeptical.
we will. I have an opportunity.
I'm skeptical this guy's an attorney with that internet.
I'll confirm that you sent. I'll wait to confirm that you send it to me, and I'll give you a date.
And the mold
next
up in the
court date
corner.
is going to be a pre-trial date on May the 28th, 2024 at 8:30. You need to get a copy of that to the city attorney as well.
Hey,
The prosecutor as well. Daya Mason.
How was that?
Prosecutor? Yes, I did just send her an attachment. If she could send me a confirmation that she received it.
Get it to her email address. So, Mrs. Mason, you put your email in the chat as well, so Mr. Lewis can get you a copy of that.
I really appreciate that.
File of that motion, both motions that we had. All right.
Hello, Mel over there on
I'm
X.
that. Once I confirm that you gave me that.
Not that Mel's on X, Twitter.
yeah.
When I say that, it sounds like I'm saying Mel's on drugs.
Let's go back on the record with Mr. Christopher Lewis.
Oh, we're bringing Lewis back.
I have received this motion.
That's
And I read
quite a
the first
painting
couple
there on the
lines of
wall,
it.
huh?
It is
And
huge.
that I'm not concerned
Anal?
necessarily about the
No, thank you.
March 18th incident. I don't know what happened on that day, but you are here now. So we'll move forward.
Excuse me, sir. I heard you say that you only read the first couple lines. Is there any way we could possibly take another case if you get the chance to read the entire thing? It's only
No,
2
I
pages.
can't, I'm not going to read this entire
Wait, he's
thing.
trying to
It's only
control,
like 3
huh?
paragraphs, the entire thing.
Judge, I think you should read the whole thing. It's riveting.
Yeah,
The rest
sure
are
it
just
is.
case sightings.
Gary, 2 bones. Thank you.
Oh, here we go.
Thank you.
All
Thank
right,
you.
I'm gonna deny the motion.
Mhm.
Gary!
I will set the matter for
Is
a
there any way I
trial.
can get a written? Can I get a written articulation as to why you're denying the motion?
I'm denying the motion,
I would just appreciate
because
a written excuse. Can I get a
I'm
written
not-
articulation?
I'm not give it to you in writing. I will. What I
Are
will
we on
do-
record? Are we on record?
We're on record.
Okay. Is this court bound by the U.S. Constitution and Supreme Court rulings?
Yes.
Okay, you were denying my motion when I said that I had Fourth Amendment violations, and you're saying that you're denying my motion without looking into it or granting me a hearing to go over my motion, or give me an articulation as to why, a written excuse as to why. I want to make sure that that's what you're saying to me.
You're asking.
Chaos, thank you. 5 We Got a Case channel. Appreciate that. Wait, it's Wednesday. I believe
Ooh,
that
it
means
is.
at 5:30 this evening. We're gonna have 5 more people with us, which is great because it always says
It's a very
0.
small, intimate crowd over there.
When we do members only, though, it just shows us that there's 0 people there. That's why I make that joke. Chaos, thank you. Appreciate that. The judges I'm not sure. Is he in a really good mood today, or he's letting this dude like almost control the situation, and this judge usually don't take no shit. It doesn't.
Well, you know, I think he's just letting them dig his hole.
Okay, I can see that.
He's waiting for him to give him consent.
Consent to touch him, or
Well, you know, whatever it takes to get the job done.
For a change of venue, I'm
I'm
denying.
saying that I know there's a motion for dismissal, and I'm saying that you, as an Article 1 judge under the Commerce Clause, if you're not going to uphold my due process and my Fourth Amendment, I'm saying that maybe we could change venues where I could get a real judge.
Ooh.
Denying a motion to dismiss. Okay. I'll set a trial date.
A real
You
judge.
can be heard on that type of form.
I insist that the court give me a written excuse as to why you're denying my motion, so I could take that to the tenant. Okay.
The tenant.
Well, you can insist all you want to.
Okay.
You get a copy.
I appreciate that, but I'm telling you, you're telling me today why you're not going to look into it or give me a hearing, that's so I can go over the evidence that I have to present to go with my motion. You don't want to do any of that, so I'm just asking that you can give me a written excuse that I could go take and complain against you on, because that's violating my due process. You didn't even give me the chance to say we're going to schedule a evidentiary hearing or something like that. You're going to sit up here and disregard that when I made genuine claims and put genuine evidence in there, overwhelming. So at the end of the day, like I said, there's no crime. This is a fraudulent charge. There's no suspect. Y'all suspect me for no crime. There's no victim, no losses. Okay. And in a minute, it's going to be malicious prosecution. So I'm asking you to dismiss this charge and change the venue. And if you refuse to do that, I'm asking you for a written excuse so I can take it to the tenor, sir. That's what I'm telling you. Because if not, I'm going to go to the tenor without it and let them know that you refuse to give me a written excuse, and you refuse to give me an evidentiary hearing, but you just straight denied it. When you just 5 minutes ago, you said you didn't even read it. Now you just denied it. That's conflict of interest. That's bias. That's all that. So let's put it
all of it.
If you feel just as strongly as you feel, give me a written excuse. If not, let's change venue, because you're Article 1 judge under the Commerce Clause.
I have no idea. Anybody know what the tenor thing is? Is that some sovereign citizen?
First, I thought he said tenant.
Yeah, tenant.
Take it to the tenant.
Yeah.
I was like, somebody's living there with him. They needs to look at it. I mean, again, I could never be a sovereign citizen. First of all, there's too many things to remember. It's far too much for me to have to remember to say each and every time. So
Good point.
that dismisses me right away. Good to see you.
I don't think I've ever heard of the tenor thing though. But
Daddy saying bass, Mama saying tenor.
maybe that's it. He's listening to country. Legend boy, thank you for a couple of bucks. Appreciate you.
Like Adventures, you only here to make money, man. You know what I'm saying? It ain't no crime.
Wait a
Ain't no,
minute.
ain't no
I'm
victim
not
or
your
no
man.
loss, bro.
I'm not. Listen, I'm not your
Look,
man.
look,
I'm not
sir.
your- oh, meet your
Hey,
bro.
sir. Hey, sir,
Okay.
respectfully, you're an Article 1 judge under the Commerce Clause. You've been on the bench since what, 21? Couple years? You need to talk to somebody. I'm asking you to give me an evidentiary hearing to go over my motion for dismissal with the overwhelming evidence or change venue. Because if not, I'm going straight to the tenor right after this. And that's on you, sir. You had this. You did this.
Oh, all right. Now I'll let you speak.
Straight like that.
No,
How you
that's
like
all
that?
I don't want to hear any more
All right,
from
cool. It's cool.
you.
I'm not. I
You
appreciate
made
it.
your record.
You,
Now,
this
don't
due
interrupt
process
me.
that this
I
this a
didn't
due
interrupt
process
you.
violation. This is a due process violation right now. And the way y'all tried to railroad me when I was ready to argue my trial. I told you I was here to argue my trial. Y'all locked me out. Now you're trying to start the process over. They not prepared to present a case. I'm telling you. They're not prepared to present an injured party, sir. What we doing?
Listen. Please do not say any more. You've already made your record. I've given you that opportunity. If you continue on, especially
Okay. All right, Becca, thank you. Okay. Now that makes sense. Tenure. So close. Tenor. Okay.
I
You
like
know-
that I like that he's come in on the judge with how long you been on the bench? Yeah, like he's pushing every button he can on the judge. He is going after him.
I think that the judge let him go a little bit too long, and now this guy really does.
He's got a head of steam. Yeah.
Yeah. It went a little bit long. Sweet T6, beautiful, lovely months. Thank you. A 10 pound. No, I do hear that all the time in the gambling streams. It's a 10.
Yeah, tenor.
You know. Yep. All right.
Ugh.
Yeah, big brain Becca, we call her.
I know.
Thank you.
She's-
RLS, that's great.
interrupted me while I'm talking because I didn't interrupt you while you were talking. I'm not your bro. I'm not your man.
Triple H?
I'm not to be interrupted when I'm speaking. I gave you the respect and the right to speak. Just because you're unsatisfied with the way that I ruled, then that's not my problem. You
Okay,
take
let's do
whatever.
price to tenor.
Wait a minute. Let me say it. You take whatever recourse that you feel that is necessary. Now, what I can do, Mr. Lewis, is I can set you a jury trial date. And at that jury trial date, you will have an opportunity to represent yourself or do whatever you want to do and put all your proofs on the record by a jury of your peers, and you can argue it that way, okay?
I appreciate that, but I would still like a written.
You order the transcript. You order the transcript. It's in the transcript.
And all over YouTube.
You asked me to read the couple of paragraphs that you made. Most of the paragraphs was referencing the incident on March 18th, as you and I'm not even debating or disputing it. I said I'm not concerned about March 18th or any missed date. I said that the most of what you're saying is in the it's not I'm not even going to hold you to that, but in paragraph 2. Moreover, I want to emphasize that the initial charge against me in this court is fraudulent. I don't know that to be the case. That's why I'm giving you an opportunity to have a jury trial, and they can make the determination. Neither the complaining witness or the prosecution is prepared at any point of this case to present an injured party or any reported damages / losses. So it becomes abundantly clear that every proceeding taking place is strictly an attempt to seek funds where there is no crime and not seek real justice. So we are giving you real justice because if you say that there's been no crime, then you have a right to a trial. And that's what I'm giving you. So I was assaulted, detained, and my property illegally searched and seized with no suspicion of
Good
crime
acoustics.
at the hands of the complaining witness Joshua Martin and assisting officers. I do not.
Oh, we can't see it, but on this side is actually a buffet, and they want to keep the judge stuff and the buffet separate.
Consent to these fraudulent proceedings and demand that the court dismiss the charge immediately with the appropriate remedies. And I'm dismissing the motion on that because I am giving you a proper forum to argue your case, or allow me the right to change the proper venue of federal court where my U.S. constitutional rights will be upheld and not disregarded by Article 1 judge under the Commerce Clause. I don't understand that of the United States Constitution, indicating a clear conflict of interest. I do not wish to proceed with this matter. You don't have to proceed any further because I'm dismissing the case. He did cite some case law. It was at Sherrar v. Cullen.
You know, this is interesting. So he's going through and actually reading it now, basically.
Now he knew it was a bunch of Sov Cit bullshit.
Right.
So
that's why he did.
It only took 2 lines to figure that out.
Right.
But now he's just going sentence by sentence, breaking it down for this guy. And
not to give any sovereign citizen any credit, but the judge, I guess the judge really doesn't have to read it if it's from you, I would think, right? I mean, wouldn't that be, it would have to be, I would think that it would come from whoever's representing you.
No, he's representing himself.
But yeah, so I guess
no victim, no crime.
I don't know. I give him credit for going through and reading it anyways, because I mean, the dude standing there saying the judge didn't even read it. The judge didn't even read it. That I can kind of understand to an extent, but we all know why he's not or did not want to read it for sure.
481 Federal 2nd 945. For a crime to exist, there must be an injured party, corpus delicti. There can be no sanction or penalty imposed on one because of the U.S. constitutional right. Louisville versus Motley, 211 U.S. 149, South 29 S period Court CT 42. Any tribunal court finds absence of proof of jurisdiction over a person or subject matter, the case must be dismissed. The accuser bears the burden of proof beyond a reasonable doubt. All right. So I'm dismissing the motion. All right. So you want a trial date? Give me a jury trial date, please, Ms. Memphis. And you can get a copy of that record on of what we just made by going through the proper channels of the court to get the court reporter to produce that record.
Pay for it.
I can't even get the court reporter to respond to my voice messages or you to respond to my emails, sir.
Hey, girl.
Your voice message. The court reporter is going to respond to you coming
The 36th
down.
district told me to call her today. That I was locked out of my trial date. I had a scheduled trial. The court told me to call her that day, and I called her that day, and she still hasn't responded. So I'm trying to see if the court that you work for is trying to tell me how the appropriate channels, and then y'all doing it different in y'all court. What am I to do?
I think you're talking about the court clerk and not the court reporter. This is a distinct.
Yeah, I was told to call the clerk the day that I was locked out. The moment I was locked out.
We moved past.
Mayor, talk to Grotto. He owns that.
That's that getting locked out.
But that was my trial date.
Yeah, so I'm giving you
How soon can I get another trial date, sir? How soon can I get another trial date? That's what I'm asking.
That's what we're trying to do now. The jury trial. I'm gonna let the jury of his peers hear what he has to say.
Look like it's going to be July the 23rd.
Before you say that again, Ms. Mathis, just verify it before you say it. Please, the dates.
Okay, I'm just checking.
I know, but you're thinking out loud.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Great. Now he's in a terrible mood.
July 23rd.
Ruined it for everybody.
24 at 9 a.m.
July
23rd.
Yeah, 2024 at 9 a.m. We'll have a final pretrial the day before.
Why would we need a final pretrial? Why would we need a final pretrial?
Because I said I wanted one.
But that's how you protecting your interest. You protecting your interest, and you're gonna dismiss it on that day. So you trying to play with me? You could dismiss it today, sir. You literally, but
a final pretrial 8:30.
You are literally violating my due process. You can't even give me a written excuse, but you want all this whole.
Mr. Lewis, I know you don't want counsel, but is it possible we can talk in a breakout?
Hey, excuse me, ma'am. I do. Excuse me, ma'am. I am in pro se. I'm in pro se.
Go wherever you want to. Final pretrial of July 22nd. I am. Date is going to be July 23rd. All the parties must appear on the final pretrial date, and the jury, and that can be on Zoom. And the next day, the
I was hoping for that.
Trial date is in person. Have a very good day, Mr. Green. Best of luck to you.
That's not my name.
Ah,
Oh,
Mr. Lewis.
Lewis, I'm sorry. Have a very good day. Best of luck to you.
Good enough.
Mr. Asshole. I mean, Mr. Lewis.
Have the bond violation to handle.
Oh my God.
Your Honor, if I'm not mistaken, Mr.
Very.
Brewer's bond violation may be his pending felony.
Uh-oh.
Let me just see if there's any.
Well, he might have several things going on, but one of them is from community corrections.
Oh, that's right. There is. Sorry about that.
Just confused about what happened in this file.
Mr. Coleman afraid he's going to get hit by a car inside his house.
Well, Mr. Brewer, this got set for a final settlement conference, I think right around that same time. So we never really addressed it. And he is actually scheduled to be in custody, I think. Well, I don't know in custody necessarily, but his felony cases adjourned out to April. So
yep.
Realistically, you know.
So when we were here for the final settlement conference on January the 25th, that's when we adjourned it to today's date to figure out what was going on with the felony.
Yeah, it was set for jury selection, and then we did a step to adjourn the jury selection to discuss a potential resolution. So we've never actually.
Okay, that's what happened. That's why there are no notes in my ROA, and I'm trying to figure out what happened.
Too late. Donovan's working on that, Vincent.
I'm sorry, Your Honor, I'm coming in late. I'm taking Mr. Brewer's case. So I'll.
Donovan Cox.
I see the step here. They didn't write in the file that the step would come in. All right. Thank you. So what do you want to do today, Ms.
Your Honor, we do want to proceed with this. Mr. Brewer, I think, and I'm sorry if I just missed what was discussed. Mr. Brewer would, from my understanding, and I think what was just discussed, it was already indicated that the state could proceed on the matter. Mr. Brewer doesn't want to delay the matter, so he would, I don't know if that's possible to go directly to jury selection.
Mr. Brewer,
or do we need to set it again for final settlement conference?
Greg sick.
It won't be the sense of setting for a final conference again. I've already done that.
Mr. Brewer,
okay, Mr. Brewer.
You don't decide
he's got
that.
a great voice.
I understand that, but I've been sitting here in the county jail for nothing. I mean, can we just move forward? I don't want no more pausing. I prefer to go
Mr.
to
Brewer,
trial.
it's okay. We'll figure it out. Okay, that's the judge's decision. Okay, so just a
I
moment,
heard her.
please.
Yes, ma'am. I heard her.
Okay.
So, Your Honor, just to confirm for the record, I do need to make sure that Mr. Brewer understands the offer that I extended for Mr. Brewer, because that was the purpose of us adjourning, was to see how this could be resolved with his felony. His felony, unfortunately, is not in a position to have any reductions or consideration added to it. And they adjourned in that case before Judge Slay out to April 4th because she would not agree to a COBS for no prison. So they're trying to do some mitigation there in terms of what a potential sentence could be. Here, Mr. Brewer, when I discussed this case with the other APA, we looked at this file more closely and realized there was an active PPO in place at the time of this. So this actually should be a felony aggravated stalking offense as well. But the offer was to just leave that alone essentially and not reauthorize that, which would restart this case with a brand new charge. So and send it back, which would extend it longer too. So to not reauthorize this as a felony aggravated stalking offense with the addition of that to the existing DV second. And Mr. Brewer's other aspect of that offer was to basically plead guilty as charged to the DV second, either guilty or no contest. The sentence agreement would be to simply close the case out with credit for his time served. So that is what he is rejecting, is to close this case out today with credit for time served with the plea to the misdemeanor.
That is what I communicated to Mr. Brewer yesterday evening. He indicated to me he did not want to accept that offer. Is that still correct, Mr. Brewer?
That is absolutely correct.
Shove it up your ass.
All right.
I said, fuck you.
So in light of that, Ms. McDuffie, what are you asking to do?
Well, given that if Mr. Brewer is rejecting that offer, that means that I need to reauthorize this case, and so it's going to restart. So we can actually set it for the final settlement conference. So that'll give me time to get the new charge authorized, and then that'll make its way through, and he can get arraigned on that, and see what happens there. So I guess the final settlement conference does provide a date that will serve a purpose in this situation.
Jimmy.
All right, we're back on the record in the Terry Brewer matter. In talking to the prosecutor, it's my understanding that she chooses within her discretion to not dismiss at this time, and she wishes to set this for a final settlement conference. A final settlement conference would be scheduled on March 28th. However, I am at this point going to set this for another pretrial, at which time, if there's
He's looking out the window now and he's saying, I wonder if that Micah the Legend is a little bit by or not. He really looks really sweet today.
You know,
I just won't kiss him.
What do you want to say?
Hey.
there's going to be a reauthorization of this case, the court is requesting that it be done no later than that March 11th date. There's no need for us to wait until the March 28th date if that is what the prosecutor intends to do.
Oh, terrible YouTube channel.
So I will set this for a pretrial on March 11th, 2024.
Damn, we missed it.
Oh, darn.
9 a.m. Mr. Brewer, you understand what she's saying? You're muted, sir.
He said, I ain't got time for this jibber jabber.
Yes, ma'am.
Not you. Your name is not Brewer, Mr. Kennedy. Could you please get them?
Why did he answer? What did you answer for?
Can you hear me now?
I can. Do you understand what the prosecutor is saying, sir?
Yeah, the prosecutor's saying that she's going to add an addition. She's going to change the charge to aggravated stalking.
She's going to add that.
Because I'm not willing to take a cop to being in here and perhaps wanting to beat my charge. So you raise the charge?
Mr. Brewer, you do understand, though, that she's adding a charge. So it's not just.
Yes.
Okay.
I understand.
All right. All right.
Jimbo.
So March 11th for that pretrial, and then March 28th, 2024 is the final settlement conference. The next jury selection is not until April 5th, 2020.
I have to do the conference again. I mean, I've gone through it. I'm not taking a cop on nothing.
Mr. Brewer.
She's enhanced the charges.
Because I said so, Mr. Brewer.
Ooh.
Okay, I get that you said so, but we can just move forward.
So, sir, do you want a contempt charge added to what you're saying?
If that's what you want to add, then yeah. If that's what you want to add, then add that.
Sir,
if that's what you want to add.
Mr. Brewer, let's talk after court, okay? I can explain. Okay.
Yeah, man, come on, man. These intimidation tactics. I mean, what's the purpose?
This is second time when I got to give the attorneys, any of them credit. When they try to jump in and de-escalate the situation, they did it on the last one with the other kid. He's like, oh, no. And she said, just go into a break room. All she's going to do is help you out just a tiny little bit.
Coming in here with these strong arm tactics.
You cheap, money-grubbing bastards.
This is not intimidation.
Yes, it is.
Sir. You know, contempt is stacked on top of whatever time you're doing.
Whatever it is you want to do, Your Honor, then go ahead and do it. All I'm doing is asking an honest question. I've been locked up since November.
And I gave you your answer.
Mr. Brewer, you'll be there on your felony matter anyways, okay? So we're getting this misdemeanor taken care of as soon as we can. Okay, please don't say anything further. Let's talk after court, please.
Bruce is unfazed.
I will see you back here on March 11th, sir.
Oh, that was
All
2
right.
days before my birthday.
I hope it went well for him. Hope it worked out.
They kind of do in their own little way, though. Triple H
versus
but, yeah.
Ronald Ray Wilson, case number 24S00001.
Rachel McDuffie for the people.
Assistant Public Defender Davi Luba for Mr. Wilson. Mr. Wilson, could you wait some to unmute you and then state your name, sir?
Yep. She wants me.
He is so cash.
Yeah, he is.
Super cash.
Anybody want to state their name for the record?
One moment. Ronald Ray Wilson.
Needs a second. He's praying or something.
Give me a minute, will you? I just need a second.
Yeah, just gonna clear my mind.
Oh my goodness.
Over here, me.
Come in. I didn't need a cold water. I can't do this without any cold water.
Well, hello there.
I have a headache. Anybody got a Tylenol? Yo, you got a blunt? Something?
Yeah, I'm Ronald Ray.
Ah, there you got
There
it.
we go. We got it.
We are for sentencing today on both the contempt proceeding as well as the original underlying charge. Have you had a chance to review the reports with your client?
I have, Your Honor. We have no modifications.
Thank you. Ms. McDuffie, anything you'd like to
He
say?
loves it in jail.
So, Your Honor, I know that I think I say every docket that I'm concerned about something. There's lots to be concerned about here. One of those things is just the fact that Mr. Ray Wilson doesn't appear to even comprehend what this case is. He said it was a made-up charge, I think, in the sentencing report that we have. All charges are made up by somebody, but that he called the victim in violation of no contact orders throughout this entire case. I don't even have the total number, but it was consistent contact all the way up until, let's see, quite a few calls using different numbers. I'm concerned about his conduct during the trial. That resulted in a 30-day contempt charge, and I'm not sure how that affects credit if he started serving that immediately after the trial, or if that's yet to be served. So I don't know how that affects the count for credit. I'm concerned that he perjured himself during the trial. So
that would be a pretty good idea, actually. If we just voiced over a whole court proceeding, just made shit up the whole time, I think that'd be fun. It'd piss off a lot of people, but it'd be fun.
Oh yeah, it would.
You know, I don't think there's been a case yet until this one where I feel like I don't know that there's anything that any sort of probation classes programming would do to have any sort of effect here, because
He was smiling.
so far away from getting it, and I think that's a willful refusal to get it. That
Chris, thank you. One to the main channel.
Chris is getting it, but are you?
would help here. So I agree with the recommendation, which is to serve the rest of the remaining time. It's just a shame.
I agree. So the rest of the time.
I'm glad that you agree, Mr. Ray
Mr.
Wilson.
Ray Wilson, please
Ray
don't
Wilson,
interrupt.
please don't interrupt. If you do that again, you'll be held in contempt again. Each contempt is consecutive, meaning that you do additional time stacked.
Nothing else for the people, Your Honor.
I agree. I should serve more time.
Anything else you want to say, Mr. Ray Wilson?
I mean, you just, no, it's not necessary. I'm just waiting on sentence.
Nah, I'm just here chilling. You know, do my thing.
Yeah, just looking at my nails.
I love it.
Oh, it's a bad cough there.
I say, leave me in.
Serve 30 days in the Washington County Jail for contempt of court.
Oh, over on the other channel.
Consecutive and preceding the original sentence for the malicious use of a telecommunications services.
He really does love jail.
For that sentence, it's 180 days in the Washington County Jail.
You don't seem to care at all.
Credit
either.
for 97 days, sir.
Look at him.
Smiling at that, man.
83 days to be served.
83 more days to go.
He's like, yeah, I can do this. Yeah, I
No
can do this.
problem. I just joined the kickball team.
In-house MRT program. If he
I
sees
Sally, I saw he says I don't know what to talk about with formatted or whatever I'm not sure.
I don't either.
That something had changed. I
really
don't know.
That's not cool.
I can't help you. If anybody knows what our friend Sally's talking about, and if you could help,
please do.
I do hate when you're used to something though, and then there's an update or something new to an app. It makes me nuts.
YouTube is good at changing things.
Oh, they are. One thing that I find when I get into a Premiere is that I'm just seeing comments. I can't get to the chat, and there's two little dots there, and every time I hit that, it won't. It's like impossible for me to get over to the live chat during premieres. So annoying.
If not, then he does it.
Whatever.
Fines and costs are waived.
Well, it's possible. He's looking for somebody.
$25 state minimum fee and victim impact fee that he needs to pay.
Oh, I slept wrong last night. Need a little massage therapy, I think.
Tough day yesterday. I'm just all beat up.
Long day of watching TV and eating dinner.
What
a guy. What a guy.
Mr. Richard, are you able to activate your camera?
Mr. Dick?
I can, but I'm moving stuff around at the same time.
Okay, well, let's just go ahead. I don't know if you were listening in when we were talking about your case.
Fluffy.
As you know, we've been waiting for the doctors to talk with you to see whether or not you're able to go forward on this matter. And there is now a date set for your interview.
I don't understand. What am I meeting with a doctor for?
They need to ascertain whether you can understand the nature of the charges and whether you're able to assist your attorneys. It's a two-prong
find out if you're pregnant.
test. So that's what we've been waiting for.
I understand the nature. I'm trying to figure out the cause. You guys never tell me.
Figure out what?
Question. So, I understand what this judge is saying. This judge is saying, last time I talked to you about this, you seem to not understand the charges.
Right.
Now, just like the first guy, he didn't understand the charges either because he wanted them thrown out.
Mm-hmm.
So couldn't we say that all sovereign citizens are incompetent to stand trial because they don't understand the law?
Mm-hmm. All right, but I like this play. Now we're all right. You want to play and say stupid shit? Then let's do this. I'm gonna hire a professional that's going to evaluate you, and you're gonna go through extra steps, and it's going to be time out of your day answering questions, making sure that you are fit mentally. Right? Isn't this basically what it is? A mental check to make sure that
figure out if you can even understand why you're in trouble for driving without a license.
I like it. I like it. I think it's a pro move. I think it's a pro move.
I understand the nature of this case. I'm trying to figure out the cause of this case. Like, what are we here for?
Well, you've been charged with the criminal offense of driving while your license is suspended in the 3rd degree and operating a vehicle without the required ignition interlock device. Those are the charges.
I've never had a license for you to suspend.
So, sir, please stop talking about the facts of the case. This is your attorney.
Who?
I'm Parent, one of your attorneys. So please don't talk about the facts of the case.
Well, I'm not denying any of the facts. I'm just letting you know I'm letting you know what I understand is what I'm saying. She asked me if I understand, and I'm trying to answer the question. I'm letting her know what I understand. And I'm trying to figure out what's making me.
Are we backtracking a little bit? Because did he understand the fact that he's going to have to see somebody that's going to evaluate him? Basically,
again, though, if he keeps making this play, should the judge worry about if he understands the law as it's written, just because he doesn't believe in the law that is written?
Well, we know that he doesn't believe it, but I don't think that he comes out and says that, right? He comes out and says, it's just a word salad. I like what she's doing. It's extra work for him. It's extra hoops to jump through, and anything that you can do to kind of tie up their side of things, especially with that. I like it. I like it. But I mean, why? I think that most judges aren't going to take the time to even worry about that.
No,
past it.
What are you trying to call it? Incompetent? Is that what you're trying to say I am?
Yes.
Yes, there's legal competency, and it's two prongs, whether you can understand the nature of the charges and whether you're able to assist. So right now, there's a question about whether you are able to proceed, and that's why we're having the doctors talk to you.
Exactly.
That's the current status.
Why can't I just ask the judge? Like, what?
Well, I am the judge, and I need those doctors to give me their opinion when they review your record.
Mayor Brown, thank you for the 5 buckarooskies. Severance, just trying to get away with things at the end of the day. Yeah, they do. They act dumb on one accord, and then the next thing out of their mouth, they pretend that they know everything there is about the law in the way that things should be. It's fascinating in some way. It's very
the one thing that worries me though. Say this guy's found incompetent.
Mm-hmm.
So he's just going to get off on these charges and he's not coming across as he's just coming across as a sovereign citizen, and it makes the judge feel like, well, he's incompetent. He doesn't understand the law. He's so dumb he can't figure out that it's the law that we all live by. So now are we going to have a play where every sovereign citizen can be deemed incompetent because they feel like you can't get across to them how things really are because they're living in a dream world, how things work?
Let's say it this way. God forbid that happens one time, because every single one of them will be citing that one. Going back. Well, and that's the way they would play it, which would be sad. Jimmy 2 times. Thank you for the tenor. Tenant?
Two times.
Tenor.
Tenures. Tenants.
Jimmy 2 times.
And speak to you. And then we'll
Wait a
get
minute. We're not done with the hallelujahs. We got a case channel from Sweet Tea again, 5:30 Eastern today after Wild Woman Wednesday, of course. On We Got a Chase. We got a case, members only.
Only.
And Steve. Thank you, one to the main channel.
report back. So now
I never gave my
being
consent for
interviewed.
that. So I'm trying to get the answers from you. Like I'm in here talking to you.
And I'm telling you that you need to speak to these doctors on April 24th at 9 a.m.
Mayor with another one. We got a case
doctor.
channel.
I'm still not understanding. Like I'm trying to figure out why are we really here?
Because you're charged with the crime, and I need to make sure that you are legally competent to proceed in this matter.
What is the name of the crime?
Anthony Gallo.
Again, he's in here for driving without a license and not having, and he's just told us he's never had a license ever.
I don't think that any of it works in court. There may be a couple of things here and there that have slipped by, and maybe another judge, or they found some sort of, tiny little. I don't think so though.
But they claim it's worked every time.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
I told you it's driving while license suspended, 3rd degree, and operating a vehicle without an ignition interlock device.
Is there any injured parties?
There it is.
Didn't the other dude just say that?
Yeah.
There's no injuries, there's no whatever.
That's right. There's no corpus delicti. There's no, they've got this whole thing. And I think because he's coming in with all this jibber jabber, it's got to the point where she's like, well, this guy obviously is crazy. And that I think is a bad precedence if it comes out and they're able to say, well, because he's sovereign citizen, he can't conceive the laws of the land. He's in a whole nother mental state of comprehending that he can't get it. And that I think is a slippery slope to be climbing on.
I just think a lot of these people watch these videos and listen to a lot of these people preach.
Oh,
it's a sad state of, affairs when it gets to that. Because I truly think that a lot of these people believe it. I mean, you are in court. You are sitting there spewing everything. I don't think that you can sit there with a straight face and if you don't truly believe it.
I think there's a group that really believes it. And then there's a group that says, okay, this is a way I can circumvent the laws.
Good point.
And be able to get away with shit.
Good point.
Not really believing in the core values that they're presenting, but as like, oh, this is a loophole. Shit, I'll use this until the cows come home.
And I also think it's rather easy to pick those two differences apart too. Because you know what I mean? Because remember, we've seen a lot of people that are right on that line, like, oh, wait a minute, are they going sovereign citizen on us? And I think those are the ones that are a little more less has less credence in it, if you will. Gosh, I just used my own name. See what I did there? Greg, thank you. If there is a legit and competent sovereign citizen, adult services would intervene and they would lose most of their rights. Could you imagine? Like if you really
want more rights, you want more rights and end up losing even more rights.
Yeah.
Is there somebody willing to go on the stand and say that I actually committed a crime? Who has a claim against me? Like that's what I'm trying to figure out. I'm trying to settle the matter. I'm not arguing the facts. I'm just trying to take care of this and
we cannot proceed while your ability to understand the nature of the charges and to assist your attorneys at issue. We cannot proceed. So we are in this status.
I could just ask you. That's what I'm saying.
I'm telling you right now. So the next hearing will be hopefully with a report in hand. You will have had your interview on April 24th at 9 a.m. Mr. Parent, you know where he would be going for that?
I'm not sure if it's going to be at the Shoreline Courthouse or down at our office in Kent, or possibly at the courthouse in Kent. Kind of depends on where he lives.
You have good contact with Mr. Richard?
Yeah, we have a good phone number for him. So we will be able to keep in touch with him.
Okay, so Mr. Richard, they're going to meet with you on the 24th.
How?
Would it take
How?
1 to 20 double days.
Are they going to come somewhere or something? Like what are they about to do?
Let's have him return on May.
Now she's just ignoring them.
Yeah, I love that. That's it. I mean, there comes a point where you just got to, because they'll go all day.
Well, like I said, you don't have my consent.
Actually, May 1. Let's do May 1.
She's still going. I love it.
I don't know why you think I have to go see a doctor when I could just ask you all the questions that's stopping us from going forward. I told you I'm trying to settle the matter. I don't know what's going on.
Is he starting to backtrack a little bit now that this is reality, that he's got to go see somebody?
Right. We keep trying to explain that to you, Mr. Richard. The reason is you're going to have to talk to these doctors and we'll get some additional information.
All right.
So your next hearing will be on May 1st.
Has there been a guilty plea that has been put into record?
No, we can't do that because we have to determine whether or not you're able to proceed in this case.
So there is no plea that's been put in file.
There's a plea of not guilty that's been entered.
And who put that in?
Well, you had a first appearance and you are unable to plead guilty. So a not guilty plea has been entered on your behalf and we are waiting to have the doctors talk to you. And this has been going on for quite some time, Mr. Richard.
How can somebody put a plea in for me? That makes no sense. Doesn't the attorney have to do what I asked them to do, or they're acting in dishonor? If
Well,
they don't
that's
do what they're supposed to do?
All of this confusion that's going on right now is many examples of why we need this evaluation to take place.
She is doubling down, and so Tiny Piggy, thank you for the 10 loans.
All this confusion. You're just not understanding, sir. I mean, you're talking gibberish.
All these things that you're saying, sir. This is why you need to see a professional, and we need this evaluation. We need to make
either it's a masterful play by the judge, or just the judge not wanting to deal with him right now.
I think it's an absolute great play. That's what I'm thinking. I mean, because, there's not a lot that you could, yes, you can get him on contempt, which is great, right? It's great when that happens. But there's not a whole lot, it seems, that you can do to kind of get back at him. And listen, it's working a little bit, I think, because he's backtracking and trying to make sense of it and trying to kind of get around it, get her moving on. There's so many few things that that's stopping us from getting through this whole thing. Cobalt Tools with $10 house. How much of Sovereign Citizen has increased because There's so many channels that are just, oh, I think it's a lot. Listen, Mikey watches a lot of court. It records a lot of court. You see it more and more and more. And you start seeing a lot of people that, like we were talking about a little bit earlier, where they start trying to get into it and then they kind of back out of it. Like
sovereign citizen adjacent, I like to call it, where you can see that they're trying to go around and circumvent being a sovereign citizen, but kind of want to play with those rules. And that happens a lot, a whole lot.
So
No,
I
how?
need you, we're going to
Because I
end
have
your
questions
hearing,
for the judge.
Mr. Richard.
I have questions for the judge, and you're just saying that I'm incompetent. Like, why can't I get the answers from you? Do you not know your own laws?
I cannot go forward until I get a report from the doctors.
And why is there a doctor that needs to be involved in this? This is what do you say? A traffic matter?
He almost said
I'm
driving.
going to conclude this hearing. I
almost said
believe
driving.
I received a report from the doctors based upon your answers, and this has been going on for
I just
quite some
told you, like,
time.
I'm not denying any of the facts. So why do we need to see a doctor? Can I just pay for can I just settle the fines that you have?
It's
In this case,
a
can I
criminal
just do that
charge
and
with
get this over
jail.
with? Huh?
All right, so
oh, please reiterate that, Judge. Did you hear that?
Mm-hmm.
With
Wait a
jail.
minute. Look, let me just pay this, okay? And let's call it a day.
Have this over. I see that I'm losing, so let me just throw some money at you, and it'll be done.
What'd you say?
it's a criminal charge with jail. It's not just paying a fine, Mr. Richard. So we are going to set this over. May 1st will be the next date you come back to court. And I will ask that you follow through and attend that evaluation on April 24th.
You just told me
And that
this was
Mr.
criminal,
Parent
right?
is going to make sure you know where you need to go.
But you just told me this was criminal, right? So why can't I just settle the fines?
Because criminal is not about fines. It's about jail time as well. So.
And why does somebody get jail time for something that they never had? I've never had a driver's license.
Okay. So
What?
Thought you could get me for driving without a license. I've never had one. And how can you suspend something I've never had?
We are done with your case today, Mr. Richard.
Oh, wow.
Thank you. We'll get that date out to you.
Well,
Whoa. Stop the clock.
I don't know what you think I'm.
Don't have my consent. What do you need consent for? Fiend. Consent.
You have no consent, Creed. It'll work. The Monterey Monroe made so much more sense yesterday when it was the no consent express. But you know.
Oh, that's right. That vow. Oh, look at that. Full circle. Now that does make sense. Did he unravel there at the end? Was that desperation at the end? Finding out that now this is a criminal thing, and you know.
Well, I think he saw that this wasn't. Things were definitely not going his way. Now he's going to have to go talk to this doctor, and if he doesn't, I'm guessing they'll find him in contempt.
I would imagine so. Yeah, that's something that you got to go do. I think Tiny Piggy. I'm glad that we can make somebody's day around here. Thank you. You just made our day.
Making days. Other things that'll make your day. Here in just about an hour, there'll be a premiere on Credence and Mikey. Make sure you're there. You're gonna be redirected there, and so there's no confusion. It's not gonna start as soon as you get there. It's gonna start at 3 p.m. an hour from now. So you just hit the notify, whatever, and just come on back at 3 o'clock. You don't have to sit there the entire time. You have a life. You can go do others.
He's just gonna get an evaluation. They're not gonna put him in anywhere. I wouldn't. I mean, that'd be great if they did, if that worked that way. But I imagine this is just an evaluation.
We're locking up all sovereign citizens in loony bins now.
It's a new thing now. You know,
that'd be hilarious.
God Almighty,
they would have something to complain about.
The Let's Try This Again Express. Chaos and darkness descends. Welcome, Gary. Chaos again. 5 big freaking gifts. Fletcher boy, thank you. Chrissy, a known gifter. Chaos killing it today.
On it.
Matty, Jimmy 2 times. Hey. Sweetie, thank you. Steve, thank you. Mayor, thank you. Anthony, thank you. Gregsy, thank you. Wonder Twin Double D, thank you. And Tiny Piggy again. Cobalt Tools and Tiny Piggy.
That's right. Tiny Piggy on that illustrious caboose. I know you're saying. Yes, we'll be don't worry. I know you're missing out today, not getting your fix, but you'll be able to do it at 4:05 with us over on Credence and Mikey, and we got a Chase. Wild Woman Wednesday. Boy, do we got some doozies, some great news stories as well to go along with it. Creed, anything else?
No, I think probably going to be doing some gambling later on. I've got 19 bonuses in less than $100 it cost me this morning. I've just been nailing in bonuses.
Look at this guy.
And so I guess we're probably going to do a that's so later though. It's so many streams away from now.
And we have a members only on We Got a Case tonight at 5:30. So make sure you're there for that. A whole day of programming right at your fingertips. No need to go anywhere else. Am I right?
You're right.
So yeah, Creed agrees, and we should listen to him. Stay safe, stay hard, stay tuned, because you never know. We'll see you for the next one. Hey, look, I could finally use that.
Now it makes sense.
It makes sense.
Now it makes sense.